Hi guys, Mohit here. And in the last video, we looked at why inference framework like SGLang and VLLM use torch.compile. But that leaves us with a question. Your PyTorch model is just a regular Python code. So how can a compiler optimize Python? The compilers don't understand Python. They optimize something called computation graph. So where does the graph actually come from? How is it built? That's what we are going to discuss in this video. Let's start with something really simple. Every PyTorch model you write is just a normal Python program. You write a forward function, you use loops, if statements, there is nothing special about it. A compiler doesn't optimize a Python code. Instead, it needs something called a computation graph. A computation graph is simply a representation of your model. Instead of showing Python statements, it shows the actual tensor operations and how they depend on each other. Once the compiler has the graph, it can fuse multiple operations together, it can plan memory efficiently, it can schedule execution, and finally it can generate optimized kernels for your hardware. But we, as a user, only wrote Python. The compiler wants a computation graph. So where does the graph actually come from? And the answer for that is the TorchDynamo. TorchDynamo is the missing bridge between your Python program and the compiler. Its job is actually pretty simple. It watches your Python program while it executes. That's it. TorchDynamo take cares of your graph automatically, but how does it actually do it? TorchDynamo isn't reading your .py files. It isn't translating Python into another different language. Instead, it simply watches your program while it's running. Your Python code executes normally. Nothing changes about the way you wrote the model. And while your program is executing, TorchDynamo observes every tensor operations that happens. For example, think of it as someone taking notes while you're solving a math problem. You're still solving the problem exactly the same way. They are just writing down every important step. That's essentially what TorchDynamo is doing. Let's see what that looks like. Suppose your model executes a linear layer, then a ReLU, and then a matrix multiplication. As each tensor operations record become nodes inside something called a fx graph. Every operation becomes a node, and by the time execution reaches end of the graph and end of the region, TorchDynamo has built a complete graph describing everything what happened. If you notice something here, your original Python code never changed. TorchDynamo didn't rewrite your program, it simply just observed the execution and built another representation beside it. That's basically the key idea. Now, once the fx graph is ready, TorchDynamo is basically finished and it hands the graph over to TorchInductor. TorchInductor is basically the compiler. It looks at the graph, finds opportunities to fuse operators, plans memory, schedules execution, and finally generates a highly optimized kernels for your CPU or GPU. So if you think about the pipeline like this, TorchDynamo is just to capture it, and then the TorchInductor is compiler. Now if you put everything together, you start with a normal Python program. TorchDynamo watches it execute. As the tensor operations run, it records them into the fx graph, and then the graph is passed onto the TorchInductor. Then the TorchInductor optimizes the graph and generates efficient kernels and run much faster than eager execution. That's basically the idea behind TorchCompile. Now, there is another interesting question. If TorchDynamo is watching Python while it executes, how does it actually hook into Python itself? I mean, how can it intercept tensor operations without changing your model? That's exactly what we will explore in the next video, where we'll go one layer deeper and look at how TorchDynamo hooks into CPython to capture your model as it runs. Thank you for watching.